Good morning. Well, good morning here in New Zealand. I don't know where you might be. Today I'm going to talk about the writings ascribed to a figure named Jesus. I've already written about this recently, but thought it was worth mentioning again, a little more specifically. I'm also talking about the New Testament simply because the Old Testament's irrelevant to the issue. So, he said, holding his phone so it doesn't shake. As a Christian for most of my life, I assumed that the Gospels were the actual words of Jesus as recorded by those who knew him. Over the years, I developed this picture in my mind of a scribe following him everywhere, frantically writing down his words on parchment or whatever it was, with ink, manually, dipping it in the ink, the stuff, even right in the middle of the night, and even his personal prayers with God after he'd gone off to be on his own, apparently. So anyway, and did this scribe write in Aramaic, seeing it's assumed that's what Jesus spoke? Although it's possible he also spoke Greek and definitely Hebrew, being a Jew. Did the scribe translate on the fly? Did he write it? What language did he write? I don't know. And of course, we have no way of knowing any of this. None of it. I've also been curious about the history of Christianity and how the early church grew. I read a lot of the traditional church history books written by Christians, and it all seemed very logical and well researched. But again, over the years, I noticed there were a lot of assumptions around the first secular references to Jesus. It's a complex topic, something that needs a lot of patient and unbiased reading from a wide range of resources, not just Christian researchers and apologists. Anyway, eventually it became apparent that the historical figure is really nebulous, so nebulous that not only do we really have no idea who he really was, but it was also if he was physically existed. Yep, I know all the apologetics that Christians will throw at this, as I used to myself. But there are more questions than answers, and after a while it's easy to see how most of us what we read was actually created specifically to establish and enforce dogmatic beliefs for other purposes, mostly power and politics, of course. And yet, despite this, a very workable religion has been created that addresses basic existential issues, as well as morality, cultural codes of conduct, and so on, in a way that could easily be wielded by a well-structured hierarchy to influence power and politics. The early Roman Church went to a lot of effort to suppress and destroy any documents that didn't fit the narrative and dogma they had developed. And that's also documented, historically documented, that's what they did. It wasn't until more recent centuries that other resources have been found that provide a glimpse into the variety of writings of the first century. We've unearthed all sorts of things over the last 100 years or so. It's absolutely fascinating and a little disturbing to see how this mega religion became such a powerful behemoth that shaped the Western world for nearly 2,000 years. So I can't, with all honesty, refer to the biblical Gospels as the writings or words of a man called Jesus. So I now refer to these documents as the writings ascribed to a figure named Jesus. Thank you.